Jimin and Jungkook suddenly appeared on stage with several military dancers during an internal performance closed to the public. How is it possible that two global stars currently serving in the military could create such a stage-shaking moment without prior notice? Is this merely part of an internal military program or the beginning of something far greater? The incident, which took place at the end of March 2025, quickly spread through online army communities, even though not a single official camera captured it. Initial information leaked from an active-duty soldier who was present at the venue, mentioning that during an internal military appreciation event, Jimin and Jungkook suddenly appeared together in a shocking stage formation. Not only that, they performed with a group of military dancers in choreography that had been secretly rehearsed for weeks. Their performance wasn't just an ordinary vocal duet. They sang a song never before performed on any public stage, a new, unreleased track with lyrics touching on themes of sacrifice, brotherhood, and longing for a more peaceful future. The song is said to be a tribute to their fellow soldiers and an emotional gift to fans who have patiently waited during their military service. What made this moment even more emotional was the fact that Jimin and Jungkook are not in the same military unit. According to information gathered from various internal military sources, it's known that both are under different commands and training locations, making such a collaboration logistically almost impossible. However, it seems there was quiet preparation happening behind the scenes. Sources mentioned that Jimin, known for his high dedication to the performing arts, personally asked his superior for permission to rehearse at night with a group of military dancers from his unit, while Jungkook contributed his vocals and arrangements separately, blending them in secret practice through recordings. This moment not only signaled the fans' longing for BTS performances, but also touched on a new dimension: how music can stay alive even in the most disciplined and strict environments like the military. A soldier present at the event shared on a fan community forum. When they started singing, everyone went silent. Their voices weren't just beautiful, but carried a deep message. None of us expected to witness that happen. Furthermore, the eyewitness noted that their performance was accompanied by choreography involving military dancers from various units. Each move was not just a dance, but a symbol of military life: orderly steps, rigid formations, and smooth transitions reflecting hope and solidarity. The performance ended with a loud cheer and thunderous applause, not because of their popularity as BTS members, but due to the sincerity of the message they conveyed. Although the performance footage is not publicly available, it was reportedly recorded for internal military documentation and will be included in the annual appreciation archives. However, rumors suggest that clips of the performance may be released later in a post-military documentary by BTS's agency, Big Hit Music, which currently chooses not to comment directly, but states full support for the creativity and dedication of BTS members, wherever they may be. What's also interesting is how this duet opens a new space in the K-pop and military service narrative. So far, military service is often seen as a pause in an idol's career, even as a stagnation point. But Jimin and Jungkook completely flipped that narrative, proving that artistic expression can still thrive even in the face of limitations. They didn't just perform as singers, but as emotional connectors, as the voices of a generation caught between two worlds, entertainment and duty, for ARMY. This surprise was more than just a special performance. It was proof that the BTS spirit never dies. We never expected to see them sing together during their military service. It felt like a dream come true, wrote a fan on social media. There was even a hashtag Jikook military stage that instantly trended across various platforms after the news spread. Even without any official visual documentation, in an anonymous interview conducted by a fan community, one of Jungkook's military comrades said, "What they did wasn't just entertainment. It was a form of empathy and morale boost. When we're tired, they show up as a reminder that we're not alone." Meanwhile, a former military trainer of Jimin expressed admiration for Jimin's professionalism and humility in training late into the night just to deliver a perfect performance for that one song. What is the real meaning of this duet? Is it a sign that BTS, even while temporarily separated due to national duty, still remains fully committed to unity and spirit? Is this also a kind of signal that their post-military future is already being crafted, beginning from a small stage inside military fences? One thing is certain. What Jimin and Jungkook did was not only surprising but also set a new standard. They showed that a stage doesn't need to be flashy, doesn't need to be in front of thousands, to be meaningful. All it takes is sincerity, touching voices, and the will to connect. For even a military stage to become a place where history is made, June is coming soon, marking an important moment in BTS members' military journey. But the surprise given by Jimin and Jungkook will continue to be remembered, not only by fans, but also by soldiers and the broader public who realize that behind the green uniform, there are two artists still singing to the world. And when they return to the global stage someday, maybe this will be the performance remembered as the beginning of a new rise, where music is reborn from the most unexpected place to a stage performance by Jimin and Jungkook of BTS alongside military dancers is clearly not a common event, especially within the context of military service, known for its discipline, secrecy, and heavy protocols. Yet when news of their emotional duet spread massively through social media like TikTok, Twitter, YouTube Shorts, and various online forums, one big question became unavoidable. Did this really happen? It's time we invite readers, especially ARMY and observers of Korean pop culture, to pause and reflect critically. Are we witnessing a reality that hasn't been officially published? Or are we being offered a narrative constructed intentionally to build emotional hope, create collective euphoria, or even boost certain media's relevance? Indeed, the narrative sounds very convincing. Eyewitnesses from the military environment, pieces of information claimed to be from active soldiers, even anonymous quotes from trainers and former servicemen. But we need to ask, how valid are these claims? Did they really see and hear Jimin and Jungkook perform together on the same military stage? Or are they merely repeating unverified stories? It's worth noting that, to this day, there is no official visual documentation to prove the event. No press release from the South Korean military, no announcement from Big Hit Music as BTS's official agency, and not a single mainstream Korean media outlet has reported the incident in detail and conclusively. So the question is, does the lack of evidence mean it's being hidden for protocol reasons? Or did it simply never happen? Skepticism is not a form of rejection, but rather an expression of mature thinking. In a world where information spreads rapidly and sometimes uncontrollably, the ability to filter facts from opinions, data from assumptions, becomes very crucial. Therefore, we urge readers not to swallow every narrative wrapped in emotion and fandom pride too easily. Think about this. If it really happened, why hasn't even one other soldier provided evidence, even just an audio snippet or a brief clip? Isn't it nearly impossible in today's digital age for a major emotional event like this to go completely undocumented, even within a closed military setting? Or is it the other way around? Could this be part of a larger communication strategy? Remember, BTS is not just a music group. They are a global phenomenon with tremendous cultural and economic influence. In a situation where all members are serving in the military, maintaining their presence in the public eye becomes a serious challenge. So, is it possible that rumors like this are deliberately circulated to maintain emotional resonance with the public? If so, the next question is that wrong? Is manipulating narratives to maintain fan engagement justifiable? Are we, as content consumers, willing to be part of an emotional consumption mechanism carefully engineered? On the other hand, we also cannot immediately dismiss the possibility that there are internal policies preventing documentation from being shared. South Korea has strict regulations regarding the confidentiality of military activities. So, is it reasonable that no visual evidence exists? Doesn't that actually strengthen the authenticity of the story because it wasn't published out of respect for protocol? Then what about the extraordinary emotional reactions from fans? Are they based on facts, or just wishful thinking that unconsciously shapes its own reality? We must dig deeper. To what extent does fandom influence our perception of reality? Does deep love for idols make us more likely to believe in joyful narratives, even without strong evidence? This aligns with the psychological phenomenon known as confirmation bias, where individuals tend to accept information that aligns with their desires and reject information that contradicts them.